Welcome to another weekly current affairs session of Environment powered by Amrita IAS Academy. I am 𝐂𝐨𝐯𝐬𝐬. Let's begin. The first news is regarding methane hotspots. India's rice fields now rank among world's top methane hotspots is the news. Irrigated paddy fields in India release around 3.9 million tons of methane every year, a little more than the entire annual methane emission of Germany. So this is a recent study highlighted in the Hindu, and it says that India's irrigated rice fields are among the largest anthropogenic methane emission hotspots globally, and this was estimated using satellite observations. So let's learn some of the basics about methane emission. First, you have to know how flooded rice fields produce methane. So the scientific basis of how methane is produced should be understood clearly. You have to understand that during photosynthesis, methane is not produced. Methane is not produced during photosynthesis. Be very clear about that. So when the rice fields are flooded, the flooding prevents oxygen from entering the soil, and this creates an anaerobic condition, and this creates a condition for different methanogenic bacteria, microorganisms, to survive there, and these methanogenic bacteria produce methane in oxygen free soil. Okay, and this decomposes organic matter and methane is produced, and this methane is escaped through various forms, through water surface, soil cracks, or rice plant system, where 𝐸𝐴 tissues will play a significant role. So that is how the methane will be produced, not through photosynthesis but through methanogenic microorganism due to anaerobic condition, and that anaerobic condition is created due to the flooding in rice fields. Okay, that is how methane is produced in flooded rice fields. So very clear. So understand that by learning this article, you also have to understand a concept called global warming potential of methane. Global warming potential of methane. So in this article, it's very specifically said that the global warming potential of methane is much higher than carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide. So what do you mean by global warming potential is the first fact that you should have an understanding. GWP is a measure of how much energy the emission of 1 ton of gas will absorb over a given period of time. So suppose 1 ton of a specific gas is emitted, and how much energy is absorbed by that gas, that is meant by greenhouse gas potential or global warming potential. Okay, so here this will be measured relative to the emission of 1 ton of carbon dioxide. So 1 ton of carbon dioxide will absorb certain amount of energy in a specific period of time. Okay, related to that, how much more or how much lesser energy will be absorbed by the certain gas will be calculated as GWP of that specific gas, and in this case the GWP of methane over 100 years is 27 to 30 times that of carbon dioxide. That is what you have to understand. So carbon dioxide, suppose it's one, the GWP of methane, the global warming potential of methane is around 30 times higher than carbon dioxide. That is the thing that you have to understand. Okay, but here one more thing is important. The lifetime of methane in the atmosphere is around 10 to 12 years. Okay, but carbon dioxide remain in the atmosphere much more than that. For thousands of years it will prevail in the atmosphere, carbon dioxide. So that is the other thing that you have to know about global warming potential. So the various global warming potential of other gases has to be noted when you learn about various greenhouse gases. For this purpose of this article, we will want to know the global warming potential of methane alone. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Now you have to ask, what are the major reasons why India became a methane hotspot? India becoming a major methane hotspot, what are the factors for this? So the first primary important factor is that India has the world's largest rice cultivation area, and most of this rice cultivation happen in irrigated paddy fields. That means flooded paddy fields. Okay, irrigated paddy fields, continuous flooding creates anaerobic condition. We have already seen how methane is generated in anaerobic condition, right? So long cropping season is another important reason why India is a methane hotspot. Warm tropical climate will enhance microbial activity. It will enhance methanogenesis, and methane will be produced in anaerobic condition. Okay, high organic matter, crop residues, and manure increases methane production. That is another reason why India is a methane hotspot. So these 5 factors, at least you should have an idea about these 5 factors Okay, now let's check out the next slide. How methane emission from rice bed can be reduced. Very important, can be utilized for your mains. This is important for your prelims also. Let's check out what are the various ways in which methane emission can be reduced. The primary important technique that is used is alternate wetting and drying. So what do you mean by alternate wetting and drying? So in Kerala, most of the places, what happens, the rice fields will be flooded almost every time of the year whenever the rice is planted, right? But that is not necessary for rice to grow. So paddy field can be flooded and allow water level to fall to a certain limit, and field can drain. Even not every time the rice field should be flooded, and field can be drained, and this can be re-irrigated when needed, and this is mean by alternate wetting and drying. And this reduces methane by periodically draining fields where methanogenic condition, the anaerobic conditions, are reduced. Okay, so hope got the idea. Then the next process is direct seeded rice procedure, which requires less flooding. Okay, then improved irrigation, better residue management, low emission variety rice varieties are also there. They can be used to reduce methane emission. Then precision nutrient management is also there. So we have already seen what are the reasons for India's why India is a major methane hotspot, and one of the reason is high organic content where crop residues and manure increases methane production. We have to reduce the use of, or we have to use this nutrient precisely. The nutrient management should be precise. So these are the various ways in which we can reduce methane emission from rice bed. Now, one important technique related to this is important, system of rice intensification, SRI. So what do you mean by SRI? What are the various principles involved in SRI should be noted. This can be utilized for, this can be asked for your mains, and this question related to SRI has already been asked in a PYQ. Okay. Now SRI, this is a system developed in Madagascar by a Jesuit priest. You did not remember the name of the Jesuit priest and all, but understand that this is a system introduced in Madagascar which focuses on better management of plant, soil, water and nutrients. So the key principles involved in SRI should be noted. Young seedlings are planted here compared to our conventional plantations, conventional paddy cultivation. Then wider spacings are involved. Plant seedlings will be placed at a wider distance compared to conventional plantations. Then organic soil health is maintained. Then alternate wetting and drying is involved. We have already seen what is alternate wetting and drying. What is alternate wetting and drying? So that is involved here. And mechanical weeding is done whenever possible to reduce the decaying matter. And more organic matter and nutrient management is done effectively and efficiently, precisely. Okay, so these are the various principles involved in SRI. So here the details about this SRI procedures are given here. Please go and please download this slide and check out the basic principles. Okay, let's check out one of the question asked about SRI in 2022 prelims. So system of rice intensification of cultivation in which alternate wetting and drying of rice field is practiced result in, three options are given: reduced seed requirement, reduced methane production, reduced electricity consumption. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Understand that reduced seed requirement is the reduced methane production will happen, and reduced electricity consumption is also a result of system of rice intensification. So this question was already asked for prelims, so you can expect so you can use this system of rice intensification as a method to reduce methane production if asked for mains. Okay, so very important. So all three of the options are correct here. So the answer for this question is D. Now let's check out a very important international initiative regarding methane reduction. Okay, so global methane pledge is a global effort to cut methane emission and slow climate change. So this was launched in 2016 in 2021, and the objective is to reduce methane emission. So there is a target 30% below 2020 level by 2030. So suppose in 2020 we emitted, suppose this is a hypothetical value, okay, 100 kilogram of methane. We have to reduce that amount by 70 kilogram. We have to reduce 30% below 2020 level by 2030. Okay. Now, the lead countries who were important in organizing or starting this global methane pledge was United States and European Union, and various other countries are have joined this initiative. But understand that India has not yet joined this pledge, citing concerns over food security, farmers' livelihood, and equity in climate responsibilities. And that is why in India still India's rice fields are one of the largest emitters of methane globally. Okay, the methane hotspots are widely spread across India. Understand that India is not a part of global. India has not signed this global or joined this global methane pledge. Okay, now let's check out another article. Clean energy push is India's answer to transition challenges. UN climate chief. So recently the UN climate change executive secretary Simon Steele, the name is not important, praised India's rapid expansion of clean energy, stating that it demonstrates how developing countries can pursue economic growth while addressing climate change. So this remark come ahead of the COP31. So India's why did the UN Climate Change Executive Secretary Simon Steele praised India? Because of India's accelerating investment in solar energy, wind energy, green hydrogen, battery energy storage system, electric mobility, green transition corridors, etc. So all these should be noted. So whenever a question related to India's initiative or India's push towards green energy is asked, you have to have an idea about various projects in solar, wind, green hydrogen, battery energy storage. That means BESS, okay, electric mobility and green transmission corridors. So all these points should be there. Let's check out India's climate targets first of all. So India aimed to have a net zero emission by 2070. So this is very, very important. India aims to have a net zero emission by 2070, and non-fossil fuel electricity capacity should be increased to 50% by 2030. So in total, India's total energy, out of the total energy by 2030, we have to produce 50% from non-fossil fuel. But have we achieved that? Yes, we have already achieved this. That is the important thing. We have already recently achieved this target. So we are far ahead of that target. Okay. Then emission intensity should be reduced by 45% from 2005 level by 2030. So these are the three targets which India has set. Then additional carbon sinks through forest and tree cover should be maintained, and we are trying to increase our forest cover to 33%, and year by year we are having an increase in forest cover. That also should be noted. Okay, so various India's targets, climate targets, the NDCs should be noted. So, and understand that key challenges in India's clean energy transition or addressing these challenges is essential for smooth, just and sustainable transition. So here one word just is there. We will see what is meant by just transition. Okay, so what are the challenges in India's clean energy transition is the important question. Grid integration. We have to manage various, so we have seen that we are producing energy from wind, solar, tidal, and various other energy sources, right? So we have to integrate various energy sources into a single grid. That grid integration challenges are there, because during morning time the solar energy will be produced in a larger amount, and we have to compensate the solar energy with the coal or some other hydropower electricity in the night time. So all these kind of energy should be balanced in the grid. So all grid integration is a very big challenge that India face. Energy storage is another challenge. So as I have already told, solar energy will be produced during the daytime whenever the sun is available the most. And can we utilize that solar energy at night? Yes, we can, but we should have higher battery capacity. This has a cost, and that's a challenge for us. Then critical minerals are really important, because we depend on other countries for lithium, cobalt, nickel, and various other elements, and these elements are part of various chips and various particles which are used for producing solar, wind, and various other renewable kind of energy. So these critical minerals are very critical for or is a challenge in India's clean energy transition. And climate finance, we have already seen in the last week's articles where climate finance is actually a challenge for developing countries, and India is facing that challenge. Then coal transition, it's not India's most of the energy right now is produced from coal only, and in order to have a transition from coal energy to other energy, it's actually challenging. We should have investment, we should have infrastructure, we should have technology for that, and that all these are challenging in fact. Okay, so regarding technology, the technology should be, first of all, we have to develop the technology, and not only that we have to develop the technology, we have to develop the technology in an affordable way. The technology should be affordable for everyone so that energy can be available for everyone at the current rate or a rate which is minimum. Okay, regarding clean energy transition, you have to be very clear about a word called just transition. What do you mean by just transition? Just transition refers to shifting from fossil fuels to low carbon economy without leaving workers, community or vulnerable group behind. So just like sustainable development in development, just transition means when we are transitioning from fossil fuel to low carbon economy, we are not leaving workers, communities or vulnerable group behind. So the main pillars of just transition should be noted: social justice, economic diversification, skill development, energy security and inclusive growth are the 5 pillars of just transition. So social justice, while we are transitioning from one energy form to another energy form, we have to protect workers and livelihood, we have to create new and green jobs, we have to reskill the fossil fuel workforce, because fossil fuel workforce, they are skilled for a certain jobs, and while we are transitioning to a new kind of economy where we have more green energies, we have to make sure that these people should have the skill set. Okay, then energy security should be ensured for everyone, and everyone should have this affordable energy, not that we have to make the energy costly costlier, we have to make it affordable. Okay, so these are the main pillars of just transition. Now finally we have to see what are the initiatives in India to support this clean energy transition. Okay, so at least you have to have an idea about these 7 schemes. What are the 7 schemes? National Solar Mission, PM 𝐤𝐤 National Green Hydrogen Mission, FAME scheme, PM E-Drive, Green Energy Corridors and PLI scheme. So PLI scheme is to promote domestic manufacturing of solar modules, batteries and other clean energy components. Okay, so these are the various schemes. There are various other schemes. Please note the various schemes included under India's clean energy transition. So these are very important. A question related to this can be asked, okay, for mains, and the details about these schemes are important for prelims. Please go and check out the details about individual schemes. What are the various components coming under National Solar Mission, PM 𝐤𝐤, National Green Hydrogen Mission, FAME scheme. So FAME scheme is to accelerate adoption of electric vehicles. Okay, that at least you have to understand. Now let's move on to the next news. Next news is about a heron in India. So India's rarest heron faces a silent end as new dam ignores its home. So this is regarding a proposed Lohit River hydropower project. Okay, so the Lohit River hydropower project in Arunachal Pradesh could threaten one of the last remaining habitat of white-bellied heron. So the heron in news is white-bellied heron. So this is one of the world's rarest bird. So this is one of the critically endangered species. So conservationists want that alteration of river ecosystem may push the species closest to extinction. So here you have to understand one term. That term is called environmental flow. Here environmental flow is the quantity, timing and quality of water that must remain in a river to sustain aquatic ecosystem and the livelihood depend on them. So here the environmental flow will be disrupted, and that is why the building of the dam will cause habitat destruction of this white-bellied heron. So what is white-bellied heron? So this is the bird here. Since the belly is white, that is where the name comes from, white-bellied heron. So the scientific name is not that important for this species. You have to check the IUCN status. IUCN status is critically endangered. So where are these species distributed? So these species are seen in Bhutan, northeastern India and Myanmar. So these are the 3 countries in which these species are distributed. So understand that this is endemic to the northeastern region, not only find in northeastern region. In India, it is endemic to the northeastern region. Okay. And Indian states, the main states are Arunachal Pradesh and Assam. And habitats include river, rocky river bank, wetland, forest valleys. And diet is not that important, but at least the distribution pattern you should have an understanding. So in this slide, this is a slide taken from IUCN website. So this is the distribution pattern of this white-bellied heron. So here it's critically endangered, and number of mature individuals. So see the number of mature individuals here, 50 to 249 only. So that is why it is really critically endangered, and it's really important to protect that habitat of that species. Okay. The next news is regarding 𝐶𝐵etwa River Link Project. Activists on hunger strike over 𝐶𝐵etwa River Link Project ends fast after 18 days. So the protest focused on concerns over submergence of forest, displacement of local communities, and ecological impact on Panna Tiger Reserve. So here the facts regarding 𝐶𝐵etwa River Link Project should be noted. Let's check out the basic facts about 𝐶𝐵etwa River Link Project. 𝐶𝐵etwa River Link Project. So this is India's first river interlink project under National Perspective Plan. Really important. India's first river link project under National Perspective Plan. And the objective is to transfer surplus water from Ken River to Betwa River. It's Ken to Betwa. Ken to Betwa. So both are tributaries of Yamuna. Both are tributaries of Yamuna. Okay. And Ken to Betwa. The transfer of surplus water from Ken to Betwa is the objective. Why? To irrigate drought-prone Bundelkhand region. Bundelkhand is the region in Madhya Pradesh, and it's a drought-prone region. And to irrigate the region, the surplus water from Ken will be utilized by linking with the Betwa. Okay, and this provides drinking water to that region and also will help in generating hydropower, important, and reduce regional water scarcity. So these are the various objectives of this 𝐶𝐵etwa River Link Project. Now the important dam is Dwadam Dam. Dwadam Dam. Dwadam Dam is related to 𝐶𝐵etwa River Link Project, and we have already discussed various other facts. Here the ecological concern should be noted. Panna Tiger Reserve, the areas of Panna Tiger Reserves will be submerged once the project is complete, because there is a dam coming in that region and Panna Tiger Reserve is located in that region, and the areas coming under Panna Tiger Reserve will be submerged under this region, and this project has got clearance from the environmental ministry. Okay, understand that the Panna Tiger Reserve will be affected, and that is why one of the reasons why the people in that region were protesting. And the benefits, the ecological concerns and the social concern of this project should be noted, because this can be utilized for enriching your answer for mains. And sometimes regarding 𝐶𝐵etwa River Link Project might not be asked, but regarding developmental project might be asked. Okay, and here the benefits, environmental concerns and social concerns can be utilized, might be common for many of the developmental projects. So here for this 𝐶𝐵etwa project, this benefits for irrigation, drinking water, hydropower, agriculture, drought mitigation, regional development and all. And what are the environmental concerns of this project? The primary concern is the forest submergence, and Panna Tiger Reserve, the area, some of the area will be lost, and Panna Tiger Reserve, the area lost by the Panna Tiger Reserve, and the forest submergence in Panna Tiger Reserve should be noted. That's really important. And all other reasons, wildlife, ecology, biodiversity, climate resilience, all will be affected, and that can be common for any other project related to environment. Okay, and the social concerns, the various social concerns related to any developmental project should be noted. Here the displacement of villages, rehabilitation and settlement issues will be there. Loss of traditional livelihood might happen. Impact on indigenous and forest department community dependent communities might happen, and cultural heritage concerns also might be there. And these might be common for many projects in India. And please have an understanding about the various social concerns, other social concerns also. And 𝐶𝐵etwa River Link Project can be utilized when asked about development project, the impact, the benefits and the social concern. Even environmental concern should be addressed. Okay. Now regarding Panna Tiger Reserve, understand that it's located in Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh is known as the tiger state in India. It has got the most number of tigers in India, and it has got the most number of tiger reserves also in India. And out of the tiger reserves, Panna Tiger Reserve is one of the major tiger reserves, and it is located near the Ken River. And understand that there is a biosphere reserve of the same name, Panna Biosphere Reserve. This is actually included in the UNESCO Man and Biosphere Program. Very important. Panna Biosphere Reserve in Madhya Pradesh is included in the Man and Biosphere Program of UNESCO. So the notable species, definitely we have seen tiger, and understand that gharial is one of the important notable species here, and whereas leopard, vulture and sloth bear are also seen in this region. So gharial, the habitat of gharial coming in Panna Tiger Reserve. Okay. Now let's move on to the next news. This news is also really important for prelims. Okay. 𝐂𝐤𝐤 becomes Tamil Nadu's first fully operational climate resilient village. So the name of this village should be noted. It is Tamil Nadu's fully operational climate resilient village. Tamil Nadu's first. Tamil Nadu's first is not that significant, but it's located in Tamil Nadu and it is climate resilient village is important. So what do you mean by climate resilience and what do you mean by climate resilient village? Okay. So here this village is located in 𝐂𝐤𝐤 near the Pichavaram mangrove forest. So Pichavaram is a Ramsar site. Pichavaram is included in the Ramsar site. So Pichavaram mangrove forest and nearby village is 𝐂𝐤𝐤, and this has become a climate resilient village. So what do you mean by climate resilience and what can be done to make a village climate resilient? So climate resilience is the ability of individuals, communities, ecosystems and infrastructure to resist, adapt to and recover from climate related stresses and disaster. So climate resilience is the ability of first individuals and community and ecosystem and infrastructure, these four should be there, to resist, adapt to and recover from climate related stress and disaster. So this definition you should be able to write in the exam. What do you mean by climate resilience? You should be writing this. Okay. Next, climate resilient village is a village that enhances its ability to anticipate, prepare for, respond to and recover from climate related shocks. So once you know what is climate resilient village is the one which has climate resilience at the village level. That's all. Okay. Then key components of climate resilient village also should be noted. Various nature based solutions are utilized for making a climate resilient village. Not only nature based solution, but nature based solutions are also used here. Climate smart agriculture is one of the nature based solution. Then water conservation, mangrove conservation is a nature based solution. Disaster preparedness can be done using nature based solutions and various techniques, various scientific principles, okay, various technologies. Sustainable livelihood and community participation are enhanced in climate resilient village. So that's all about climate resilience and climate resilient village, and understand about 𝐂𝐤𝐤, the first village in Tamil Nadu to become climate resilient village. Okay. Now next news is about migratory bird species. More than half of world's migratory bird species are declining. A study published in Nature Review Biodiversity estimates that approximately 51% of migratory bird species are declining globally across every major flyway on earth. So 51% of migratory bird species are declining. A recent study published in Nature Reviews Biodiversity. Okay, so the major findings of this study should be noted. Over half of migratory species are declining. Mainly wetland water birds are affected. Okay, and long distance migrants are facing higher risk, and human induced pressure are primarily drivers. So these are the major findings of this study. And what are the various threats should be noted. So the primary threat is habitat loss. Habitat loss is the primary threat that faces migratory birds. Wetland degradation, climate change, pollution, hunting and poaching, power line and wind district, invasive alien species, urbanization, all are various threats faced by migratory species. So you should be able to write all these and include more points while writing the threats faced by migratory bird species. Now regarding migratory bird species, you have to understand about Convention on Migratory Species, which is otherwise known as Bonn Convention. So this is an international treaty for conservation of migratory species and their habitat. So this is Bonn Convention. This is different from Bonn Challenge. Bonn Challenge is an afforestation challenge. This is different from that. So Bonn Convention was adopted in 1979 with an objective to protect migratory species and their habitat. So the secretariat is in Bonn, Germany. Bonn is a place in Germany, and this was convened in 1979 in Bonn, and that is why this was called Bonn Convention. Okay, and India is a party to this convention. And similar, whenever you learn about convention regarding protection of a species, you have to protection of animals, there might be appendices, or there might be schedules. So in Wildlife Protection Act there are 4 schedules right now. Before 2022 there were 6 schedules. So similarly for the CMX convention there are 2 appendices. So these appendices include species, various species to be protected. So this appendix 1 include endangered migratory species requiring strict protection, while appendix 2 includes species which might benefit from international agreements. So that's all about CMS convention. So these are the primary facts that you should have an understanding about CMS convention or Bonn convention. Next is a news about Dakar port as a hotspot of illegal shark fins. This is a news taken from Hindu. So here you have to have an understanding about 2 things. So what do you mean by shark finning and where is this Dakar port located? So shark finning is the practice of catching sharks. So you will catch the sharks, then you will cut off the fins and you disregard discard the body in the sea itself. You will not take the shark for meat. You will discard the body in the sea. Why are you doing that? You are catching the fish, you are catching the shark, then you are cutting off the fin, the wings of the shark, fins of the shark, then you are discarding the shark body in the water. Why should you do that? You can always sell that also, right? Because getting more and more fins, collecting more and more fins will be economically viable rather than taking the entire shark while hunting them. Got it? A small fishing boat will be collecting the fins more and more, and that will be costlier than the meat of this other part of the body. Okay, that is why they are discarding this and collecting the more valuable item. Then they can pack the more valuable item and take it for whatever purpose they are required. So here the carcass is frequently discarded because the fins are more valuable than shark meat. So understand the location of this is the Dakar port. Okay, so Dakar port is located in Senegal. Dakar port is located in Senegal. So here near Dakar port you can see one more island nation, Cabo Verde. So have you heard about Cabo Verde? Cabo Verde. So this is the very nation which became very famous during this football World Cup. Yes, the nation which, so who was the champion of this World Cup? Spain, right? Spain. So Spain had to face Cabo Verde in the initial group stages, and Cabo Verde actually get a draw, and this is a very small nation, and most of us might be hearing the name of this nation for the first time. Okay, and that is why Cabo Verde should be noted, and Cabo Verde is located here. You can see this port, right? Senegal, and this is Cabo Verde, and this is the port, Dakar port. And Dakar port has become a hotspot for illegal shark fins. And understand that global shark population have been in rapid decline due to industrial finning, with one study showing their population has plummeted 71% since 1970. Since 1970, the population of sharks has declined. Almost 71% of the shark has gone. Actually, that's about shark finning. Now you have to have some more details about shark finning. So why are shark fins in demand? This is from the article itself. So shark fins are basically used in soups, shark fin soups. This is a delicacy in Asia, and that is where shark fins are mostly used. And in traditional medicines also shark fins are used, and this is regarded as a status symbol, and this is widely traded in international market, and that is why shark fins are highly in demand, and mostly shark fins are illegal to catch in many of the areas. And so you have to use a term, you have to have an understanding about a term called IUU, illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing. So what is this illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing? Illegal means conducted in violation of national or international law. Unreported means not declared or misreported to authorities. Not reported to authorities or misreported to authorities. Sometimes 10 sharks might be caught, only one shark. The person who has caught this shark might report that they have only caught one shark. So that is what is meant by unreported or misreported. Okay. Then there is unregulated. This occurs where conservation measures are absent or ignored. So I don't know about Senegal. We need not know also. Senegal, it might be here in Senegal. It states that darker port is a hotspot for illegal shark fins. So there might be law or international law might be there, or national law might be there, which is preventing shark fins to be traded, but that has become a hotspot, the darker port. So the location of darker port is really important. So that's all for today. Let's see next week.
Amrita IAS Academy.